This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
You know what I do when I can't sleep? I list all the types of pie in alphabetical order, starting, of course, with cherry.
What about apple?
No, I forgot about apple.
Oh, and blueberry.
Blueberry!
Boysenberry, banana cream, banana coconut cream, but Boston cream.
Yeah, no, I
Black Forest, chutney marmalade.
Um,
But chutney marmalade, that should come after cherry. What about Bing cherry and black cherry? There's so many other pies.
Pie.
I like pie. And I like Baconsale. Welcome to it. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
I'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, our action scenes episode with Shannon West.
That was thunder and lightning. I don't know why.
It's always thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning.
Debbie Foster said, love this episode. Shannon was great. And you know what?
She was.
I agree.
Yeah.
And she was so concerned that she wasn't going to be awesome, and she was awesome.
She is awesome.
Come on. Time for some rewatches of movies referenced. And I felt that way as well. You know,
Like
the
we
movies
said,
that we're talking about.
If you don't have the time, but you should watch them all, you can watch them on YouTube.
Watch the scene. Watch just the
super
scene we
awesome.
talk about.
Yeah.
Rachel Crump said, my favorite action scene is the lobby scene from The Matrix.
Nice.
Adam and I were dating, and he took me to see that in theaters. After the scene was over, I distinctly remember turning to him and saying, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then finally, Crew Dutler said, Joel, it's not that hard to pronounce Carrie's last name. I think you're mixing it up with spelling in your head. It's pronounced like it's spelled, Elwes. We'll not say how he clarifies it.
No, he's
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say the hell word.
Well, that made it sound worse.
Helpez. But for someone who doesn't know how to pronounce GIF, I understand it's probably hard.
Why are we talking about gifts? What happened? Who gave who a gift? Who gave whom a gift? Excuse me, whom?
Whom. Oh, whom is like who, but it's pinky up.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Hey, before we get started today,
what are we doing?
we want to send out a personal thank you to everyone that came. And that's really all the listener that came to Improv
To
Night.
Baconsale Night at Quick Quick.
Yes.
Quick.
It was really fun. I had a good time.
Humiliating as always.
I did not know Kent could sing that high.
What?
It was really good. And Zach, you are a fabulous dancer.
I thank you. I've
We
been trying
knew
for years.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little soft shoeing. It was lovely.
What can I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again.
Yeah. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
We're talking about pie.
Pie.
If you didn't know the reference,
3.15.
because you're not a young millennial from a Jimmy Neutron era, that was where they.
I just know the hair and the
Oh, for
bad
the intro?
animation.
Yeah, the bad animation.
Yeah.
Man, it's so bad.
I
I watched
know.
every episode of that show.
You did. Okay.
I did.
Yes.
We're talking about pie.
Yes, we did talk about briefly.
This is inspired by Jennifer Kilkowski.
Yes, back on episode 281, Time to Talk Turkey.
So
which
that
was in 2020, guys.
Wow.
And we said, hey, let's do a sequel next year.
Uh-huh.
It's a couple years later.
So, Jennifer, we're really sorry that we kind of came up with this one last minute. So we're sorry that we didn't let you know because we want the pie. You made such amazing pies last time.
wait, you want to
were
invite
here.
her back just to give you pie?
And to be on the show. Sure. Yeah.
But, gentlemen, we
Sure.
have to have a conversation about this.
Go
Because
on.
here's the thing.
ready.
We like pie. We're
Yeah.
excited about this show.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit sugared up because we may or may not have had a lot of pie this very recording day. However, going back to that episode, Kent is the only one of the three of us who gave tier one to pie.
True.
Both Joel and Zach.
Now,
because
I
That
tier
was
two,
about Thanksgiving
Your
dinner.
reasoning was first plate, right? You're
Yes.
not
It
getting
was,
pie first
yes.
plate, but it is a tier one priority.
I have also been
when it's available.
I've been quoted as saying I would rather have more of the sides than get pie.
Yes.
Which is wrong because generally you have pie 3 hours after. There's room at that time, right?
It's true. And I started doing Thanksgiving lunch. We're getting together at like 11:30 this year. Come
Okay,
on.
that is brunch.
the way
Take
it
it
is.
easy.
But yes, if you haven't listened to episode 281, Time to Talk Turkey, go back
It's a
and
good
listen to
one.
it. It's
Yeah.
a really fun episode. But I want to just bring a little education, as I am and want to do in Baconsale episodes.
Welcome to Old Joe's Glass.
In case you didn't know, and I'm just going to give the Wikipedia definition here because I enjoyed it.
Of
pie? Yes.
Okay.
A pie is a baked dish, which is usually made of a pastry dough casing that contains a filling of very sweet or savory ingredients.
Wow.
There
Okay.
you go. That's what it is. Difference between pie and a tart. Pies are look covered from all sides, and tarts are open from the top, and you can easily see the filling. So technically, some pies could be considered tarts.
I would say half of them on the list or just tarts.
Because you basically have you have filled pies, which
Yeah.
are the bottom crust. You have a top crust pie, which I don't know how you do a top crust without a bottom crust, because then there's a two crust pie. That's beside the point. Let's talk about the origin of the word pie.
Wow, you're going deep.
Well, because it's used in farming to indicate a collection of things made
cows
into a heap.
make these, right? That you try not to step on.
It's a collection of things made into a heap. For example, a heap of potatoes. So some people say that the pie is known because it's a bunch of stuff piled together.
Yeah.
Others say it may come from the word magpie, which was a bird known for collecting odds and ends in the nest. Because
I hate them.
Back in the day, medieval pies were just a bunch of different animal meats and parts.
Yeah, remember the old
together.
fairy tales where birds were in the pies?
Yes. The
Sure hated
horned-tailed
that.
Blackbirds
Yeah.
baked into a pie. The first use of the word pie
I remember
appears
that song, Blackbirds Baked into a Pie.
The word pie first appears in 1303. So it's in the expense accounts in Yorkshire. But early pies were not the pies we think of.
No. Joel, did you know that the Romans were the first ones to invent the pie?
Some say that.
Some sites, I guess. So I just want to give you guys your daily reminder to think of the Roman Empire every time you eat a piece of pie.
There is that. There's also, early pies were just kind of these crusty, they called galettes. They were ground oats and wheat and rye and barley with honey inside. But you also have stuff in ancient Egypt for Pharaoh Ramses II. There were paintings on the tomb walls of pies. And then you have the ancient Greeks who kind of did the pastry. And the Romans, as you mentioned, they have notes for the recipe. The most popular pie or cake called placenta. Which I tell you what, I do not want a Roman placenta pie. That sounds disgusting.
I sure don't.
So early pies were basically boxes for food.
Yeah, like they actually call them like coffins with a Y.
Yeah.
Because it was meant to just store the food. The crust was storage and never eaten.
And it was like a thick, sturdy crust. You had to crack it open to get the filling. So it was like you kind of just had this, it was basically a bowl. And then we talked about it before, but pies in the 1400s included birds. And that's why a lot of times the expressions like eat crow and 4 and 20 blackbirds, and the songs were from that time.
Yeah.
But then you get the apple pie, first referenced in writing in 1589, when the poet R. Green wrote, quote, "Thy breath is like the seam of apple pies." I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know if apple pie breath would have the same romance to it.
So when I think apple pie, I think as American as baseball and apple pie.
Yes, although it wasn't technically an American thing.
No, it was an English thing. In fact, the Pilgrims brought their pie-making skills along with apple seeds to America. And then as the popularity of the pie spread throughout the new nation, the phrase grew to symbolize American prosperity.
Yep.
Which I was like, okay, because I've never really understood it.
But the saying?
Yeah, the saying is American is apple pie. Other than the fact that it is the most popular pie.
Truth be told, I think as American as pumpkin pie should probably be the saying. And we'll get to that.
So you eat it once a year?
No, because it's like it's an American thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But I mean, you have England was eating pies back then. Queen Elizabeth I was eating cherry pies in the late 16th century. There's a recipe here from the English housewife back in 1615, and there's a recipe. This is for the pie.
Okay.
That was for an entire leg of mutton, 3 pounds of suet, which is fat, along with salt, clove, mace, currants, raisins, prunes, dates, and orange peel, which does not sound like a very appetizing pie to me.
No, I think Banquet makes a version of that, right? Put it in the microwave, 3 minutes, it gets a mushy top.
I'm not a sponsor.
Yep.
But that's just the thing is that pies for a long time were savory. It was they cooked meats in them.
Which we're not including in this show, by the way.
No, we're keeping this to sweet pies. I think we're
Aw, thanks.
not sweetie pie. But that's when the Pilgrims brought their recipes over here to the New World. They had to adjust to the ingredients that were here, which include things like vinegar-soaked potatoes and soft-shelled river turtle meat. That was a pie that they used.
I'm just envisioning you just switching over. It's like, we have to use what's available. We used to make meat pies, but now all we have is this darn fruit.
Yeah. Well, but
We're stuck with apples.
Well, and also because early pies weren't sweetened because sugar was like a luxury. But once Britain established Caribbean colonies, or Caribbean colonies, whichever way you want to go.
It just depends on if you're on the Disney ride or not.
Yeah. Sugar dropped in expense, and so they could make sweet pies more readily. So that's how we kind of got sweet pies being the thing, is around that time.
Love it.
By the way, gentlemen, do you know what a la mode means?
With ice cream.
It literally means like of the fashion or like in the now. It's trendy.
Okay.
And that's what a la mode means. So when you ask for pie a la mode, but you get a scoop ice cream.
How funny.
It's the fancy
Like du
thing.
jour is.
And one
of the
final
day.
random pie fact that I just wanted to point out is that, because you've probably seen the episode image, is that throwing a pie in a person's face has been a staple of film comedy since 1909 in a silent film called Mr. Flip.
Oh.
A little 4-minute short, I think, or something like that. But
Okay.
since then, it's
It
become a
became
thing.
part of slapstick comedy.
Yes, and we may have had that experience just before recording
a little
this
bit.
episode.
1 in 5 Americans who eat pie have claimed to have eaten entire pie by themselves in one sitting.
What?
Yeah, 1 in 5.
How big are these pies?
Have you guys eaten a full pie by yourself in one sitting?
No.
One sitting?
One sitting.
No.
It doesn't say that. I'm adding
pizza
that.
pie? Or just pie?
Oh, go on. Pizza?
Pizza pie.
Totino's doesn't count.
No, I've eaten an entire Domino's medium pizza by myself.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's
Yeah,
cake.
you're fine.
Actually, I've probably
No, it's pie, actually.
an entire Little Caesars large pizza.
Yeah, we've all done that. We were all
That's-
teenagers once.
That's not
Could
good
you do
stuff.
that now?
Maybe.
Nope.
Challenge accepted.
I might die after. No, I don't think I would ever sat down and eaten like a whole pie.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan of personal pies. You know, little
hand
smaller
pies?
ones. I've brought them to the Bacon Cave before.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah. But I mean, generally speaking, pie, just your guys' thoughts and feelings on general pie. Do you prefer pie or cake?
Oh, that's easy.
Is it?
Pie. All day.
What about cupcake versus pie?
Cupcake versus pie, I'll take pie. Cake versus pie.
Hey, did you know we actually have a show plan for this? If it's,
Do we?
Yeah, we do. If it's cheesecake, that's another story, but it's pie over cake. What about you? You seem like you're a cake man.
It takes a very special cake is kind of all the same.
All right.
But then you,
Sorry.
yeah, it's a little cake reference there for all you 90s kids. But I do think that pie, generally speaking, is more flavorful than cake. Because cake a lot of times, especially the box cake with the the tub
Hey,
of
leave
frosting.
Betty out of this, okay?
But it's sugar. It's
Yeah, it is.
it's a pleasant sugary taste. But pie, you do get that variation, and sometimes you get the tartness, or sometimes you get the the saltiness even. So
Yeah.
I'm a fan of pie. Probably maybe even over cake, but I won't give my final verdict until we apparently have a show about
We
that.
do have a show about that, which is weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Let's get started. We have 18 pies to cover.
So we're going to have 6 tier 1s, meaning the best, 6 tier 2s, meaning the middles, and 6 tier 3s, meaning the worst.
Terrible. Awful.
I don't think that's
Can I be
worst.
quite honest? Still pretty good.
Okay, so I always go through and I do the gut check. I just put a rating down, and then I look at where I sit. I had like 3 tier 3s.
Same.
Like this
I usually hate everything. I like all
I had a
of these.
lot of tier 1. Like I like pie.
There's only a couple here that I would be like, I'd rather not have a
pass.
slice.
I get it.
But most of these they're fine.
Well, let's find out.
Great.
Well, we're American, darn it. So we're gonna start with
Pumpkin.
Apple.
Yeah.
Let's start with apple pie.
Yes, it is double crusted with a pastry both above and below the sliced apple filling, including the filling includes sugar, butter, and an acidic ingredient like lemon juice and cornstarch to thicken it. And then you have a lattice woven top to that.
Now, I found a resource that said if you were a pie, this is your personality trait. This is almost like
What?
the Enneagram or your personality types. And so
Hey, will you look at the top of the screen? Does it say BuzzFeed?
it didn't, although BuzzFeed did have this. But if you're an apple pie, you love the outdoors and any fun group activity. This includes playing sports, going camping, biking, rollerblading, and others. In short, you love to be active.
Really?
Yeah, if you're an apple pie,
apple pie people like to be active.
that is, or if that's your personality, you're an apple pie.
But it was brought over here by the English, the Dutch, and the Swedes during the 17th and 18th centuries. This is not an American original. Popular cooking apples are going to be like Granny Smith and Gala.
Do you guys like Granny Smith on their own?
Oh, yeah. I love
Me
Granny
too.
Smith.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
didn't know that that was basically in every apple pie, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the... It's
Because I know kids don't really like Granny Smith on their own.
No, because they're a little tart.
Yeah, but they're perfect in pie.
1 in 5 Americans surveyed prefer apple pie over all others, followed by
Yeah.
pumpkin and then pecan.
Is it a cheat to add ice cream to this list? If I add ice cream to one of these and it makes it tier 1, is it still a tier 1 or a tier 2?
Oh, that is a good question.
Yeah, is that cheating?
Is it assumed that there's always a scoop of vanilla ice cream?
I would think no, but then at the same time, there's Cool Whip or whipped cream.
That's what I was going
Right?
to say. Is you kind of either you have to apply it to all or apply it to none, because I think ice cream would make any of these better if you put a scoop of ice cream on top
Yeah.
of it. And if you put whipped cream on them, they get better. So it's up to you. But
Oh no, we probably would because pumpkin without whipped cream. What is that?
But pumpkin
Trash.
But pumpkin with... Can you imagine a scoop of ice cream with pumpkin pie?
I'd rather not.
Yes,
Really?
it's pumpkin ice cream. They have it.
Which
So
you
where are you
hate.
guys going on this?
I never hate the experience of apple pie. I'm picturing this. Like you say, the gut check. If there's 3 pies on the table and apple's one of them, I'm going to kind of look at it with disdain. But if I eat it, I'm not going to hate the experience. So it's a tier 2.
Okay, fair enough. Zach?
I think that I don't like apple pie, and then I take a bite, and I go, this is awesome.
Right.
Even mediocre, like store-bought apple pie is still like pretty good. I think that just, those apples, there's always a lot of cinnamon involved. I'm always happy when I have apple pie. Guess I'm not including ice cream, but hot apple pie and ice cream is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So then when you have a good apple pie, it's just that much better. So it's a tier 1 for me.
Okay.
So you said tier 2.
Yeah.
I love
you said
apple
tier
pie.
1.
What do you got, Joel?
We got a straight gentleman.
Tier 3?
I do not like
Shocker.
apple pie.
Shocker.
Now, here's the weird thing about it.
Joel is apple pie incarnate.
Is of thee.
Pumpkin is the real American pie.
Who are you?
But no, I enjoy the flavor. Like if it says apple cinnamon on a flavor like a cereal or an ice cream, I'm like, yes, I will
Like
have
Cheerios?
that.
Amazing.
If the ice cream is on top of it, I will eat everything but the apples because I do not like the texture of cooked apples.
Really?
I don't like applesauce either. I like my apples.
Why did that hurt my soul?
I don't know. I mean, we talked this on the fruit show before, but I like my apples cool and crisp.
Yeah.
That's how I like them. If it's mushy or mealy,
Kind of
or
like your friends. I get it.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why because I like the flavor, but I just now when we tried it,
So
it's
you're okay with the syrupy stuff, right? Like if that's
Yeah.
part of the
Oh,
crisp, for
absolutely.
example, that's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But like it's actually the crunchy,
it's
soft
like you're
apples.
eating a nice pie and all of a sudden there's like a piece of raw potato in there.
Oh.
And it's just kind of like, bleh, what is that doing there? And so I don't like apple pie.
That's a hot take.
It is. I like the flavor, don't like the texture, and I don't know why because I'm not usually I'm not texture averted most of the time. Like,
and you don't hate apples, so I
love apples. But
Interesting.
if you cook them, I don't like them anymore. Like that scene in Pete's Dragon when he blows the fire over the apple and gives it to him, I'm always like, ew, you ruined it.
If you cook them, Joel won't come.
Oh, will not.
I'm not entirely surprised because I think my wife is in the similar situation.
I knew I liked her.
She's come around, I think, in recent years because I really like cooked apples. But it's a weird texture thing. I get you.
Sure.
It looks like a rubbery thing going on there.
All right, you've mentioned it too many times for us to not talk about it next. This is the pumpkin pie.
America's pie?
Who are you? Pumpkin spice is life.
I
knew it.
converted. This is a spiced pumpkin-based custard filling. It's baked in a single pie shell, usually without a top crust, and then it's usually prepared with canned pumpkin. But certain psychopaths actually do use fresh cooked pumpkin. I don't know why you would.
Pumpkin pie personalities, they are most likely an emotionally stable and consistent person. They dislike drama and unwarranted chaos. To you, having a peace of mind and living in a calm environment is very important.
Hey, millennials, you know how you've been sorting yourself into Harry Potter houses for years?
Yeah.
Just do pie.
Be a pie.
The pumpkin is a symbol of harvest time. It's usually harvested around the fall, and that's why it's usually eaten around this time. But also, no one really wants to eat just straight pumpkin, which
Right.
is why they mix in spices such as ginger and nutmeg and cinnamon and allspice, which you can hear me rant about on episode 224.
Is this
Pumpkin
like
spice and
the
everything
Mother
nice.
Earth of pumpkin products? Like, did someone have a pumpkin pie and they were like, you know what? Pumpkin spice would be good in everything. Right? Like, is this the source other than
They want
pumpkin?
you to believe.
Yeah. I mean, was pumpkin pie like the original, like, hey, let's try that in a flavor?
Well, I'll tell you why that's kind of the case, because the pumpkin is native to North America, but it wasn't until they moved, like, and exported over to France that the French kind of went, hey, this could be a pie filling. But then they put all the seasonings in it, and they were trying to spread it around America of all this, hey, check out this clovey pumpkin flavor. And Southern cooks actually were not happy about this because they thought this was Yankee culture imposed on the South, because they don't have pumpkins down there as much, I guess. I don't know. So they did sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Same exact ingredients, except for sweet potatoes instead of pumpkins.
Right.
And it was way better.
You like sweet potato way better than
Oh,
pumpkin?
I love sweet potato pie.
I just like saying it. Sweet potato pie.
You can call me that anytime.
You see, and you will see two pumpkin pies on the table, right?
The good one and the bad one?
Well, I mean, one's from Costco, and that's the good one. Regardless of if your mom makes pumpkin pie or you get it from Costco, it tastes exactly the same, and that's not a bad thing. This is the most consistent pie out there, for better or worse.
Because it's from a can.
Yeah, there's honestly nothing wrong with that. This is almost a tier 1 for me because it deserves to be, because it's just Thanksgiving in a pie.
This is not the Thanksgiving show. This is the pie show.
But I also, when I eat a piece of pumpkin pie, I feel like I'm doing everyone else a favor. I'll eat some of this so you guys don't feel bad.
Just take a moment, though. I want you to imagine you're at a party in the summer,
Okay.
barbecue, watermelon, hamburgers, pumpkin pie.
Good point, Joel.
How does that feel there?
Not good.
Why do you want a pumpkin pie at a summer party?
Okay.
Of every pie we have on this list, what is it, 18?
Yeah.
This is really the only one that I look at and go, you can have that 1 month a year.
but it's like eggnog.
yeah.
It's beautiful in that season.
I guess, does that make it special? Does that make it more fun?
It's tier 2.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying, tier 2?
What do you got, Joel?
I got a tier 3.
Joel, why do you hate pies?
Joel, you're running out.
No, this is not. And Kid, I'm going to disagree with you on the point that you said it's basically all the same. This is a roulette wheel for me. Because either I'm going to be like, ooh, this is really good pumpkin pie, or oh, that's really clovey. That's really allspice. That's really nutmeg. Not my thing. People don't know how to get the spices right sometimes.
It's all the same.
It's giving
like you
nutmeg.
said, like the Costco one, they do it pretty well.
Yeah,
I don't mind store-bought stuff. It's when they make the homemade stuff that I'm like, wow, you dumped like a cup of cloves in there, and it's terrible. By the way, the world's largest pumpkin pie ever was made in Ohio in 2010. It weighed 3,699 pounds and measured 20 feet in diameter. And I'm betting you there was way too much cloves in it anyway.
It gives you that weird mouth sound every time you eat pumpkin pie. Like,
And if you gave me a slice of that pumpkin pie, I would look at it and go, this is a tier 3 experience.
Yeah.
I don't
Holy
like pumpkin pie.
I like it. I just don't like it as much as other pies.
Don't like it.
No,
And everybody
okay,
jokes all the time. You know, they joke about how you just have to have tons and tons of whipped cream.
It should
you know
be
why?
80% whipped cream, 20% pie.
You know why? You know why? Because you have to drown the flavor of pumpkin pie. Because pumpkin
fine.
pie is gross from a texture
and the
standpoint.
crust is barely there. It's not hard to cut through
This
it.
is an instant skip for me. I don't know why people like it.
See, I don't hate it.
No, I don't.
just
give
don't
it
like
tier
it.
3, sir.
No, you at me. Feel free. I hate pumpkin pie.
Wow.
It's not good.
Why do you hate America,
Hey,
Zach?
I'm thankful for you. Have you ever been thankful in your whole life?
You know what's great? Pumpkin spice, though.
Okay.
Now, whoa.
Contradictions.
Whoa.
Pumpkin spice latte or whatever.
You don't mean
Pumpkin
that.
spice-
Back the squash up here.
I would rather have a pumpkin spice Twinkie than a piece of pumpkin pie for the
You
rest
didn't
of
try
my
it.
life.
You didn't try it. You don't mean it, Zach.
Take that back, Zach.
No, I
You know
just...
what?
It's,
I'm coming to your house. I'm giving you a pumpkin pie.
I'm not going to eat it.
I'm going to force feed pumpkin
not
pie.
going to eat it.
in
Or
your
I'm going
face.
to douse it in whipped cream so I can just taste the whipped
80%
cream.
cream, 20%
That
pie.
I'm
Raw
just-
pumpkin pie,
all-
Straight
Zach.
from the can.
All I want to taste...
I'll give you $5 to eat a piece without whipped cream.
No. I've been smelling whipped cream for hours.
We should clarify. It was for
Side
the
story.
episode image.
No, I'm being... No, I'm probably being a little bit more dramatic, but I've found that it's not as good as you want it to be. At least I
What are
always
your
eat it, and
expectations of a pumpkin pie,
Everyone's
Zach?
it's of the season. You know, it's
Yeah.
so great. It's fine at best.
Hey, old reliable. That's amazing.
Why? What?
Yeah.
Guys, we've already ranked. We got to move on.
Okay.
No, I will die on this hill. No, I'm kidding. Now we have chocolate cream pie.
Ooh, chocolate cream.
Sweeten things
you
up.
take chocolate cream and eggs, beat them together, and pour them into a crisp, sweetened pastry shell, and bake them until it's firm.
If you like chocolate cream pie, you're a true romantic and adventurer on the inside. Everything you do for your friends and family, you do it out of pure love and concern.
Okay, how many? Are we factoring in the I kind of just solidified some pudding and put it into a pie shell?
That does seem like
with the flakes and everything.
yeah, that's the lazy person's way of doing it, and I have nothing against it. Of just pre-made pie shell from the store,
Generally
make up some
graham
pudding,
cracker.
chill.
I think what works on this is kind of like the crust that you use, because sometimes you have like a lighter crust, like a banana cream crust. Sometimes it's more the confectionery.
I had one
the
just
crispy
recently
one?
where it was a meringue crust. and
Yes,
it was
that's what I mean.
delicious.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah,
First time for me. That was
both are great. I don't know why pudding is great. Chocolate cream is great. Although I can only eat one little slice because it puts me over the edge.
it's a lot.
It's one of the first pies I go for.
It's
though.
rich. It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joel?
I think an early 19th century book for opulent families featured a chocolate tart recipe that included cinnamon and a lemon peel taken from a book in 1770. If you're putting a lemon peel in
Yeah,
your
that's wrong.
chocolate,
No, don't do it.
although I try with cinnamon.
Yeah.
Chocolate cream is, and I've heard this called French silk pie.
You know, is that a different thing?
I think it's a brand name.
Because I
think that
find
might have been
French
Marie
silk
Callender's
pie
thing.
to be not good.
I surrender to
What?
that pie.
How?
I don't know. For like, if it's like a chocolate pudding pie,
Yeah.
is better than a French silk.
No,
pie.
I'm telling
French
you.
silk's got a little.
French silk's got
there's
like
some weirdness there.
Oreo crust, rich and creamy chocolate filling, topped with fresh whipped cream and chocolate shavings. I'm going to give this a tier 1 because
Clearly.
it is delicious, and I will definitely pick a chocolate cream pie if it's on the table.
A little bit goes a long way, but I'd like to go all the way. It's a tier 1.
Wow. On many levels.
Low tier 2.
Wow.
Low
not a
tier
big
2?
fan.
But of course, chocolate kills you.
Well, depending,
of course, there's the death
depending on the
aspect.
time of day I eat it, it could eventually end in my death. But
Is there a happy hour for your death? Like, what are you talking about?
if I have a chocolate cream pie for breakfast, I should be fine. Should be. No naps, though, in the middle of the day. Acid reflux, don't you know? No, I don't really care for chocolate pies. I would just rather have like a chocolate cake.
Well, sometimes they do get the ratio wrong because it's chocolate cream. And if you get too dark or too bold in the chocolate, I think it's lesser. But if it's that nice chocolate cream mix where it's a light tasting chocolate, it's amazing.
Also, if you end up at like a church activity and everybody's got their homemade chocolate pie, it's a roulette wheel, man.
It totally is.
You can't beat one.
You still got to try it though. It's still one of the go-tos for me.
No, I'm more of a fruit pie.
Got like the chocolate shavings on the top.
No, give me fruit over chocolate. Tier 2. Even if it's just a Hershey bar that they've just taken a butter knife to,
that counts.
It's so good on the top.
All right. Now we have key lime pie.
So key lime pie is one of those. Oh, I should clarify what it is first. It's a pie where the filling is made of lime juice, egg yolks, and sweetened condensed milk.
Kind of like a custardy thing.
Yeah, it's like a meringue type thing. You have meringue topping in there too.
Yeah.
If you love key lime pie, you're a natural leader, and people trust your opinions.
I love key lime pie.
You're just throwing it out
Zack,
there.
I want to follow you. You're a natural leader.
I am.
This is the toss-up, though, because people try key lime and they think it needs to be really subtle. I don't think it does. I want it to stand out.
I like a bold flavor in key lime.
Totally.
And that comes from the key limes, which are actually different than like the usual store-bought limes. These are done in Florida. They have these key limes, and it has a very specific flavor, which, by the way, it is actually the official pie of Florida, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
Once upon a time, a young Zachary was going through culinary school, and he was in his baking class, and he got a recipe for key lime pie, and that he did not use key limes on.
Oh.
And it was gross.
Oh.
Did it ruin you forever?
You got to have key lime.
Yeah. In fact, this was the magic lemon cream pie is what they called it. The makers of the sweetened condensed milk back in 1931. It's kind of what made it famous. But key limes have not actually been grown commercially in the U.S. since 1926. They're from Central or South America.
You know what puts this over the edge? Graham cracker crust.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, a little crumbly.
Yeah. I wasn't just kidding about the leader thing. I really like key lime pie, and I'm giving this a tier 1.
It is a tier 1.
It is a tier 1.
It is a tier 1.
The first one we agree on.
Yeah. I like us.
Because key lime, it's a tart, tasty treat. It really does when it makes your mouth pucker just a little bit. You know it's good.
But like a
pie.
little slice at a time. Like, let's not get
This
crazy
is rich.
with these.
Yeah. Most of these are pretty
Zach,
rich.
are you all right?
I would go a good sized slice.
What's a good size slice to you? Yeah. When you're divvying out the pie, you cut. How big is a slice?
An eighth of a pie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the whole, you do the cross section.
I get
and then
it.
you cut that.
Hold on. How many slices of pie are you eating? Are you eating
That's
multiple
it.
eighths?
It depends on how many pies are on offer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go a 16th if we got a lot of options.
I will trade you that for a quarter of the pie of a pumpkin pie.
I will take that and I will throw
in the
it
garbage.
in the trash.
We're wheeling and dealing here on Baconsale.
And I will put the foil over it and take it home and then throw that in the trash. Ugh. Key lime pie is so good though.
It is very good. We can all agree on that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, what a
key lime.
so good. Now we have blueberry pie.
Blueberry. It's basically blueberries in a pie.
It's a syrup. It's sugar.
Well, that's the thing is you get things in there. You can put flour to thicken it, or instant tapioca. Then use cinnamon or nutmeg or sugar or vanilla and butter. This is one of those few where you don't have to peel or pit the fruit. You just have to rinse and destem it, and then it's ready to go in a pie.
If you like blueberry pie, you can sometimes be particular about things in your life, such as purchases, arrangements in your home, and plans for the weekend.
Kent, what did you say about blueberries?
Oh, I think they're basically like these tart eggs with whiskers. Get rid of blueberries, burn them. I hate them. Unless they're in muffins.
But wait a minute.
They're hairy fruit.
So's
That's
raspberries. Raspberries are more hairy.
Raspberry pie, not
true.
on this list.
Yeah.
That's a nice masculine fruit right there.
But do you feel the same passionate way about blueberry
Why
pie?
would I want a thing full of the thing I hate?
Okay.
And look, I'm okay. I'm kind of like you with apples, Joel. I like the paste inside. I like the syrup or whatever it is.
Sure.
That's fine. I like that taste. I just don't like eating the actual fruit. So I'll push those to the side.
So what are you giving it? Tier 2?
It's a tier, bottom of the tier 3.
Whoa.
This isn't a genuine tier 3 for me.
That is weird.
Yeah, I hate
it. It's such a
but
pleasant flavor.
It's too much of one thing. It's bad.
That's most fruit pies are all one thing.
Too much of one thing. I hate.
There we go. Blueberry pie, by the way, has been documented since the Appledore Cookbook in 1872, eaten by early American settlers because it is like an American fruit that's going around here.
You're like, is this poisonous? I don't know. Put it in a pie.
Blueberry pie made with wild Maine blueberries is the official state dessert of Maine. So
That makes sense.
yeah, because they're made in Maine.
It would be confusing if you said New Hampshire.
I would love it if it were. I love blueberries, as you guys know, that flavor I'm a huge fan of, but I also mentioned that the fruit itself, it never lives up to the expectation of like artificial blueberry flavoring.
Yeah. Like you think it's going to be a gusher. It's not.
Gushers. That being said, this is one of the pies that I will be like, ooh, that's blueberry pie. I will eat that. I will enjoy it. Usually a la mode of the fashion. You were trendy, if you will.
I have it of the fashion as well.
Yes. And then, but I also, this sometimes lets me down. So I'm going to give it a tier 2. It's in the middle there.
All right. Zach?
I'm also going to give it a tier 2. I
Why?
don't particularly like, I'm not gaga for blueberry, but it's a solid
But are you
choice.
lady for blueberry?
I'm lady for blueberry, but I give this a few extra points, though I don't have a lot of blueberry pies. Blueberry pie filling just out of a can, like the Duncan Hines, whatever, out of a can is my go-to crepe topping.
Ooh.
I like me crepes with blueberry pie filling.
I think it's a
So
great idea.
I kind of give a little bit of credit to this, but I'm with you, Kent. I actually don't like blueberries at all.
Yeah.
I like
weird.
I like the syrup from blueberry pie filling.
Yeah. That's about it.
Now we have lemon meringue pie.
It's a stiff, lemon-flavored custard prepared with egg yolks, lemon zest, juice, sugar, and sometimes starch baked in a pie crust.
If lemon meringue is your favorite, you are witty and sarcastic, and you're well known for giving zingers that put people in their place. Your relationships are mercurial, and they change by the day and by the minute.
So you're saying zingers from the zest?
Listener, I want you to comment which pie you think we all are.
Yes. Which pie you are?
Why did you bring
Which
that
part
up
we
right
are.
then?
I'm just saying.
Zach?
One of us might be that.
Fruit desserts covered with baked meringue have been since the 18th century in France. Meringue, by the way, the kind of a very stiff egg whites, I believe. Egg whites. Yes, they're whites.
So you see a lemon meringue pie on the table, and do you go, oh, I don't see these very often?
There is a little bit of a piqued interest.
And then you go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm definitely going to try it. Will I like it? I don't know. You have to try it.
There is the same level of risk as like a lemon bar.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it essentially
Yeah.
a
is.
good lemon bar is so good. A good lemon meringue pie is
A
so
lemon
good.
meringue pie is literally a lemon bar with a meringue on top.
It's a lot.
And I am intrigued by the meringue.
Yeah.
Not as much by the lemon.
Really?
I prefer cold lemonade. I don't like hot lemons as much. So I'm giving
Shocker.
I'm giving this a tier 3, not because I hate it,
Whoa.
just because
Because you try it and you generally don't like it.
I'm just,
Because there's
lemon
a lot
meringue's
of
like one of
lemon.
those, okay, it's fancy.
Yeah.
What, you think you're better than me pie? That's what I say to it.
It does.
It does, because it's a meringue.
It's zesty and naive.
Same.
Yeah, it's a tier 2.
Tier 2.
Like, I'm not going to love it, but I'm going to try it.
We have another straight. I love lemon meringue pie.
Oh.
It's great.
Is it like the first one you go for?
Not first, but
Okay.
it will. If, like you mentioned, if it's out there, you don't see it all the time, I will go for it for sure.
Okay.
I do like the look of lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
It has a very pleasing look.
It does.
And a pleasing
when you have the
mouthfeel.
little toasted peaks
Right.
of the meringue.
That's the one.
And also, we mentioned a couple ago, the key lime pie. I'll get a key lime and I'll get a lemon meringue and I'll eat them together.
Are you like a character for Warheads every time you have pie for Thanksgiving? Like, are you just puckering all the time?
Because these,
This is really good, guys.
like lemon meringue pie,
Yeah.
you don't need ice cream to enjoy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the fruit pies you kind of do, but
Right.
you don't need whipped cream. You don't need. I mean, granted,
You probably
the
need a
meringue
glass
is-
of water after.
No, lemon meringue pie is refreshing. It's really good at Thanksgiving. It's really good in the summer. I love it. Tier 1.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to argue against it because I've had some good lemon meringue
Good.
pie.
When it's good, it's good.
Just not all the time.
When it's bad, it's still pretty good. Now we have peach pie.
It's peaches in a pie. Peaches, peaches, peaches.
Oh, that's the
And
peaches song you
they
go for?
come from a can. They were put there by a man.
Yes. In a factory
In a
downtown?
factory downtown.
Yeah. It is the quintessential American dessert in the southern states. Like a southern.
I thought that was apple and or pumpkin pie.
We say American as American as apple pie, but we say as southern as peach pie.
Okay.
Yeah. Invented sometime in Europe around the 14th century.
If you love a peach pie, you love a good challenge. You love for your mind to be stimulated, and that definitely makes you a thinker, someone who learns from mistakes, mishaps, and trials. Guys, that got real deep.
I do love peach pie. Like, is there any of these where it's like, you're a dunce?
Lemon meringue said you're a little naive.
But that's it.
Yeah.
These are like positive
Hey,
horoscopes.
it's the year of positivity. I'm thankful for everyone.
What's negative about pie, Joel?
Wow,
Besides
yeah,
pumpkin.
exactly.
It's not a negative. It's 3 point. It's positive 3.1415.
Ah.
Hey,
Peach pie is one of these things where you see it and you go, yeah, the crust is a little too crispy. Like, it's a little too much to dig through.
It's a flaky,
and
buttery
you
crust.
you kind of say, I wish this was a cobbler. That's where my mind goes. If this were a cobbler, that would be my go-to.
Peach is
Good
the best
point,
of the
kids.
cobblers.
Yeah, but it's still a pie full of peaches and what do they call the filling? The juice, the pie juice.
It's a filling.
syrup?
It's
the syrup,
a
the
thickening
molasses.
agent.
Oh, I'm calling it thickening agent from now on.
Oh,
Yeah.
You make a point about the cobbler. I much prefer peach cobbler.
So you really have to almost nuke this to the point where it becomes the cobbler and breaks apart really easy, and then you eat it a la mode.
Yeah,
brown sugar topping.
Yeah, but
of the fashion,
I do just kind of close my eyes and pretend it's a cobbler. It's tier 1 because peaches for me are tier 1. So
they're not for me.
I know. Well,
as we
really,
mentioned, peaches are one of those fruits that I just never like the flavor of. So no matter what happens here, I actually will eat the cobbler of peach cobbler and be fine with it.
You will.
I don't like peach pie. So
but what if it's hot though? Like it's hot peaches.
That doesn't make it better.
I know, but you would hate it more, right? Like you're just like does it become that much more off-putting than regular peaches?
No, it's just peaches are all kind of that meh for me.
I'm going to go tier 2 on this. I generally love peach flavors.
Mm-hmm. Did you give it one, Kent?
Yeah.
Is that another straight?
Another straight.
Wow.
We have some pie here in the Bacon Cave right now that we have been eating, and it's a very, very mediocre peach pie, and it just reminds me that when it gets very boring. You have to have, first of all, it has to be hot, and it has to have a good amount of cinnamon, and the crust has to be good. But if you have just kind of a base, kind of boring peach pie, it is very boring.
Right.
I think generally speaking, like canned peaches don't have a ton of flavor. So yeah, I think when
you make a good point.
They get really dull.
If it was like a Haribo frog pie, I'd be in.
So they have Haribo peaches, by the way.
I know, but I don't like those.
I will take.
I only like my peaches in frog form.
I'll take apple pie over peach pie, but I'll take peach cobbler over apple cobbler.
Making sense of that. Okay, all right.
Save it for our pie versus cobbler show?
Oh, cobbler all day.
Or is that this?
Next up, we have peanut butter pie.
Peanut butter pie. Now, if you don't know what this is, because some people actually don't, because there's peanut pie, which is not what we're talking about. We're talking about peanut butter pie, which is it's creamy peanut butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar, and heavy cream mixed together, and then a chocolate crust. And you can garnish it with peanut butter cups.
So, Joel, you wanted a negative outlook on this personality type?
Yes.
Here we go with peanut butter. If you love this pie,
You probably kick puppies and hate everybody.
you are most happy with snacks, lots of fun people, in a cluttered environment that probably includes piles of laundry, an assortment of dirty dishes, and scattered popcorn.
Whoa!
Wow.
I think the writer...
I think this person just got bitter.
was like, I hate my roommate, and they always eat
And they
peanut
always eat
butter
peanut butter pie.
smells like peanut butter pie.
He never cleaned up his messes.
If you eat peanut butter pie, you probably don't pay your share of the rent.
That's very specific. Scattered popcorn.
And dirty dishes and laundry.
Yeah, that someone has an axe to grind.
Yeah, definitely. Not me, though. This is a tier 1.
Just go and serve for tier 1.
This is so good. This
Do
is
your laundry. Okay.
It's basically a giant peanut butter cup.
Okay, but is it too much peanut butter all at
No,
once? Because
'cause
there's
it's
some chocolate, right?
Yeah, but it's not just peanut butter. It's got and it's got cream cheese. I'm sorry, Zach. This is like a cheesecake almost,
Agreed.
but with peanut butter flavoring
Yeah.
and a chocolate crust. It is so good. It is a tier 1.
Zach, what do you think?
I don't like peanut butter pie. It's just too much for me.
And you don't like cream cheese either.
I don't like cream cheese, but in the peanut butter pies I've had in the past, I don't feel like it's a detectable amount of cream cheese.
No,
it's not.
it's
not
whipped in
yeah,
there.
right. No, so I've never really had an issue on the cream cheese front. It's just as I've gotten older, peanuts don't like me so much. As I always say on the show,
Are you just eliminating food groups like based on the year? Okay.
Yeah. I am deteriorating as a human being. But even in my heyday, I've always liked chocolate and peanut butter flavors put together. But I've never been a huge fan of this as a pie. It's always just too rich for me. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it tier 3.
No, I actually expected that from
Jeez.
Zach. Yeah.
It might kill him.
It's a bit much.
You have like tier 1, 2, 3, and then foods that are going to kill you depending on the time of day you eat them.
Oh, I mean, I still think mangoes are tier 1, and those will actually make my throat fall.
Like when my sister brings a peanut butter pie to the table, I hug her, I say thank you, and I take an 8th slice. It's a tier 1.
Wow.
This is great. I love peanut butter or anything. It is too much peanut butter.
Well, you don't see this enough because it's a very rich pie.
Yeah.
And you can't eat much of it, but it's good when
delicious.
it's there.
See, I'd rather have more pie. I don't know why you guys want these thin slices of pie to keep your girlish figures. Like,
You know me, I'm always on a diet.
Give me a giant slice of fruit pie over these little thin peanut butter chocolate. Now we have blackberry pie.
Composed of a blackberry filling, usually in the form of either blackberry jam, actual blackberries themselves, or some combination thereof.
If you like blackberry pie, you are overpowering and dominant, and that's what people like about you.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a tart pie, meaning they do put more sugar in these than like a blueberry pie.
Right.
Because they're really looking for a boom pow kind of flavor. And this is a boom pow kind of flavor, especially when you get it of the fashion a la mode.
Yeah. Is it too much? Like, can you guys just eat blackberries on their own?
No. I don't. I'm
Sometimes.
not thinking they're too hairy.
Yeah. You know what's good? Blackberry and cheese.
Oh,
Yep.
go on.
I'm
charcuterie
interested.
board over here.
Yeah.
I'm into that. So I actually feel bad about this one. I do think blackberries are good, but a whole pie of them is a bit strange. It's a little bit off-putting. I enjoy eating this one. It's fine, but it did make it into tier 3, sadly.
Really?
This is one of those I'm like, I'm really sorry.
This is one of the fruit ones that I actually do enjoy. However, I mean,
Isn't the boom pow a little too much?
Well, no, I love the tartness. That is great. And we don't have a raspberry pie on here. We only have the blackberry pie.
We have
But-
something similar.
We do. But my problem with raspberries is the same, where it's a little too much seeds for me. Like you get that little crunchy
All right.
seed thing going on in there.
Yeah, I get it.
So I like the flavor,
Snacks
texture,
for later.
iffy. So this is a tier 2 for me.
Okay. Zach, what about you?
You know, I can't quite decide on this one. It's teetered back and forth.
But how's it tottered?
Tottered. I think a good blackberry pie is good. But I kind of have to be in the mood. So I'm going to say tier 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lower end.
You're
tier
guessing,
2.
but that sounds about right.
Lower end tier 2.
Yeah?
But you don't see a lot of blackberry pies.
No.
So
They come up more than you'd think, though.
I have the least amount of experience, I think.
Like, how do we have more, and this is just speaking of my experience, my life, I've experienced more blackberry pies than just straight raspberry pies.
Yeah, same.
So I don't know
Weird.
Maybe raspberry should never be in a pie. Who knows?
why. It gets in some of these.
All right, well, you have alluded to it earlier. So let's just jump right into the mixed berry pie.
So now the berries they usually use here is they're going to do like raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. This is also known as like razzleberry pie or bumbleberry pie, depending on...
Raspberry sounds way more fun.
Oh, it does.
Triple berry.
But it's just a mixed berry. Mixed berry is one of those flavors that if I see that on any sort of marketing for any sort of candy, I am absolutely in because I love the berry flavor.
Totally, yeah.
But this, much like the blackberry pie, I'm going to give it a tier 2 because I feel the same way about it where I'm like, this is really good. Sometimes you get seeds. Sometimes it's not as flavorful as you want it to be.
It's probably best to give it a tier 2 because people who love raspberry pie or mixed berry pie don't represent reason. They represent pure amusement. People get addicted to them rather easily.
People get addicted to them or they get their
To
pure
the
amusement?
people that love raspberry pie.
I think it's a tier 2 pie, and I have confidence about this. I was a little on the fence about blackberry.
Sure.
But I think with your mixed berry, your raspberry, your triple berries, I think the combination kind of smooths everybody out. You know,
Yeah.
So I actually think they're at their peak form when they're working together, much like Baconsale.
Aww.
So
I like Baconsale a la mode.
Well, I'm still going to take it tier 2, but it's like a confident and high tier 2. I do like a mixed berry pie.
This is one of those where I would like ice cream on it because it does
and
soften
like
it a little bit.
Warm as well.
Yeah.
Warm with ice cream.
totally. Yeah, this is a tier 2. I enjoy this one even though it has blueberries. But
Because they're hidden among the other berries?
Yeah, totally. And close my eyes. Like I'm eating sushi. It's fine. It's almost digested.
All right, we're going to change gears over to the cream side with banana cream.
Can I give a quote real quick on that?
Yes.
I believe last time we talked about banana cream on the Thanksgiving episode, Kent said, "I love you, banana cream, and I wait for the day that you'll say it back to me."
Get out of my dreams and into my car, banana cream. I love you.
You're Billy Oceaning the banana cream?
all day. Just love me back.
So, Kent, why don't you just go on and talk about... Oh, we should talk about what it is first.
Yeah, please.
This is a creamy filling that consists of milk, sugar, vanilla, eggs, cornstarch, and butter, heavy cream, and bananas. Sometimes people put banana pudding in it. Some people
Which
use
is
vanilla
great.
with bananas, but you need to...
Which is great.
If you do use vanilla... I'm just putting this out there. If you use vanilla pudding and then you put bananas in it, you need to let it sit. You need to let the flavors
absolutely.
meld and
Yeah.
chill together. Otherwise, it's just going to taste
And they're always
bland.
kind of rotten bananas in there too.
And you get the bottom's like brown.
Yeah,
the brown banana.
but
at
it's
the
still
bottom.
fine. You're like, this is okay. This is healthy.
Well, tell me about the personality types.
You're a secret hedonist.
Hedonist?
Yeah. No one knows
Hedonism?
No one knows how indulgent you can be. You don't indulge often, but when you do, you go for the best.
Oh my gosh, it is Kent.
I said you are, Zach.
Well, now I'm having issues here because I'm also
So-
getting a tier 1.
Yeah, like when I see the pie on the table and I kind of look around, I go, hey, is anyone going to mind if I take 2 slices? Because I'm going to take 2 slices. I love it this much. No one's going to appreciate this pie as much as I am. Or possibly, Joel, you gave it tier 1 as well.
I did. This is probably my tieriest of ones.
Yeah, it's mine as well. Zach?
When I look for pie, I'm looking for banana cream.
Zach?
I've been a little contrarian on this episode, haven't I?
Yeah.
Bananas are You've never heard this before. Bananas kind of make me a little bit sick.
What?
So because of that, I have to give banana cream pie a tier 1. It is so good. Oh, it's so good. I also love nanner pudding.
Yeah. You go to a buffet, you eat nanner pudding.
Do you guys prefer the graham
With the
cracker
wafers?
crust or like the buttery dough crust?
I don't have a preference.
I like both, but I have to admit I do like the buttery dough one a little more.
Yeah, no, I think I do
Because
too.
it gets a little grainy sometimes with the graham cracker crust. Not that that's a problem, just that if I had to pick between the two.
Vanilla wafer crust.
Like, honestly, this is like the one I look for.
Yeah.
And if there's pies, I'm like, yeah, banana
I
cream.
haven't actually ranked them, but I would imagine this is top 3 for me. It's so good.
Why is it? Because
Why?
I'm telling you what, right now, I don't like go regularly like, I want a banana today. I'm craving just a banana. But if it's in pie form, it's like the best thing ever.
If you have a handful of runts, you're not eating the banana.
No. You got some Laffy Taffies.
Gross.
You got a bag of Laffy Taffies. You better believe the yellow ones are going to be the last ones in the bag.
Yeah.
When you're with a group. But with this, it's like banana cream. It's gone. It's so good.
Ugh.
I think it's the sweetened condensed milk that you may put in there.
Okay.
Can we just keep going on for the rest of the show?
Banana cream.
Another 45 minutes of banana cream pie. How about Mississippi mud pie?
Got to stay with the accent. Mississippi mud pie is essentially pudding, cake, biscuits, ice cream, whipped cream, marshmallows in a cookie crust.
It's kind of different, like based on who's making it, because there's many different variations.
Yeah.
But if you love Mississippi mud pie, you have probably been described at some point as ditzy, cluttered, or scattered, or airheaded.
Popcorn everywhere.
But compliment you for your great laugh.
Your laugh's fine. You're probably decent looking, but you're also terrible
You're
to
also
live
that
with.
crappy roommate.
You don't take your laundry out. This is often built in layers. So you got your chocolate and your pecans and almonds and marshmallows and stuff on top of it. It is supposed to be a messy pie, but it's a chocolate-based messy pie. And some say this came around in the 1970s. Others say it could have come out in the World War II era.
How common is this for you guys during Thanksgiving?
I don't know it by name. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I think you can do a lot with this pie.
Well,
Yeah.
like
and it can be a lot of
Fudge
things.
can be too much as well.
Yeah.
But you get the chocolate cream pie, and it's like the fancy pie. This is the one that has like chunks of cookies in it or graham crackers. And you're
Yeah.
like, ooh, this is fun. Or like caramel drizzled on
Yeah,
top.
which is fun.
It's a little more out of control,
Yeah.
which I like. This is a tier 1 for me.
Oh, it's the candy effect?
It's chocolate
Did it just
pudding
get you
and
the
cookies
candy
in
effect?
pie form. What's not to like about this?
Okay, but it's the mixed bag thing.
I think it's a bit too much for me. It's a tier 3. It's
A tier 3?
I won't.
Just
ever
because
go
it could
for
kill you in your sleep?
It's just because someone made it with shelled sunflower seeds once.
I could look at it and be like, is there apple in there? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a
Normally
little
there's
weird.
no fruit or anything
Just
healthy in
saying,
these.
they
Nothing
get a
healthy.
little wonky, but I don't like the super rich fudgy pies. Generally speaking, I don't like big slices of chocolate pie with chocolate crust and chocolate topping. And yeah,
I'm not saying this is a thin sliver for me.
Yeah.
But I definitely
Well, it's
enjoy
just like
this
more
one.
of a goop. Like this pie just kind of goes.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they named it after like the banks of the Mississippi. It's like supposed to be
Not a sponsor.
gross.
This is a straight. It's a tier 2 for me.
Wow,
So
he's
1, 2,
doing
3.
A lot of straights on this episode.
weird. How about strawberry pie?
Strawberry.
Ew.
Strawberry pie is strawberries then baked and put in a sugar pie crust with a gelatin, usually surrounding them, and served with whipped cream.
If you love strawberry pie, you're happy and bubbly, and stress is more likely to make you giggle than cry. You can be aloof and trepidatious in relationships, mostly because you deeply fear hurting anyone or anything. That's tender.
It is. I try to imagine what person would be that every time you give a personality, I'm trying to think of which listener that could be.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay.
Just in my mind. I'm not going to say anything out
Please
loud.
do. On a bonus show.
Spencer.
This is one of those pies where I've said up before on the show, it's too much of one thing, right? But the one thing is a strawberry.
Says strawberry. Now, this is, once again, here's the test. Summertime, you're out there, strawberry pie, that's perfect. It's in season. It's 4th of July.
Amazing.
If I saw strawberry pie at Thanksgiving in the fall, it feels a little off.
Now, this is more of a tart than a pie because it's generally uncovered with the pie roof.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, right?
But did you already tier it, Kent?
I have not, but I love strawberries more than life. I will devour this thing. It will be the third piece of pie I eat, though, after the banana cream and chocolate, but it's a tier 1.
Hot strawberries are gross.
Oh, it's not hot strawberries.
But I don't,
Generally.
Well, they're cooked.
they're cooked. I should say I don't like cooked
Oh,
strawberries.
no, I would generally, when I have this, they cook the pie crust and everything, and then they add the strawberries in.
So like a strawberry sauce that goes on
but you
top
have
with
like
an ice cream.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a strawberry jam thing on it, but then you have like fresh strawberries lying
Yeah,
on top.
that's true. That's true.
Sometimes
there's a lot of puree.
It's there's something off for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like,
maybe it's too sweet.
I get you.
I don't know. Maybe it needs more tartness. I just
A little more
doesn't
salt
quite-
in it as well, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't quite line up for me, and it tastes like I'm eating a pie that's an ice cream sundae topping. Just something.
You're right.
Something's a little off.
It's
for
a lot
me.
of one thing for sure.
It's a high tier 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, Joel.
Straight time.
Well, again,
I put a
Wow.
tier 2.
Okay.
This is one where I love strawberries. I think they're very tasty, but for some reason, when they're in that gelatin,
get
it's
it.
not as appealing to me. Like the canned strawberry thing doesn't appeal to me much as like a fresh strawberry, which is weird because candy strawberry all day. This is also one I just want to point this out that there was a guy who in Athens, Georgia, in 2017 ate 5 slices in 90 seconds to win the strawberry eating pie contest. Do you guys think you could eat any pie, like 90 seconds, 5 slices of pie?
No.
That's a lot of pie.
No.
That's like
I think we should try
that's
with
like
banana cream.
5/8 of a pie.
Okay, maybe not.
That's a lot of pie.
Now let's go with rhubarb pie.
Besides the diced rhubarb that's in this pie, it contains a large amount of sugar to balance the intense tartness of the plant.
I'm going to let you guys down. There is no personality type for rhubarb pie.
Oh, yes, there is.
Because nobody should be eating rhubarb pie.
You know what happens with rhubarb pie? They're like, hey, I grew a crop. It was like some virus that took over my garden, and I just need to use it. So
Yeah.
I put it in a pie, and I'm sorry.
Rhubarb pie it was popular in the United Kingdom where it was cultivated since the 1600s. But over here in America, it was popular in the Great Plains and the Midwest region where fruits were not always readily
Like the Great
available.
Depression time, probably.
Because they didn't have a lot of good fruits, so they
Yeah.
used basically sour celery. That's what rhubarb is sour celery. And they're popular in Canada too, once again, because rhubarb survives in cold climates because it's sour celery.
Ugh.
I
Strike one against Canada.
don't really like rhubarb.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say it. It's not like I hate it. It's just it's not a thing I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this a tier 3.
It's a tier 3.
This is a tier 3.
Thank you. Is that the first tier 3 you've matched on?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what
That's
about
rhubarb.
What about strawberry rhubarb?
Does strawberry save the rhubarb?
Or does rhubarb save the strawberry?
Oh.
Because that is my opinion.
Because this is, like it says, this is strawberry and rhubarb mixed together with a tapioca type of thickener.
Now, if you love strawberry rhubarb
Okay,
pie, you have a
personality.
personality.
Wait, time out.
I thought it was
So
weird
this
too.
website where they're mad at their roommate Melissa who never cleaned up her laundry and
her
scattered
popcorn.
popcorn everywhere. They don't have rhubarb, but they have strawberry rhubarb.
Specifically strawberry rhubarb, and I don't understand why. But these people welcome change, love festivities, and enjoy creating things with their hands and re-envisioning things, whether it's diving into a DIY project or rearranging the furniture in their home.
Seriously,
Why is that so specific?
what website are you on? Because that makes no sense. Just normal men.
Well played.
But here's the problem with not with me, but with making a strawberry rhubarb pie is that both strawberries and rhubarb have a very high water content. Once again, because
Yeah, they
rhubarb
do.
is sour celery.
Yeah.
And that makes these pies very juicy or soggy. Now we have here in the Bacon Cave a slice of strawberry rhubarb pie.
We do.
And I went, you know what? I'm gonna just pop it in my mouth and eat it. And the taste was like, yeah, pretty good. I like that taste. And then I got to the rhubarb and I had to like start chewing really hard on it because it was like not chewable.
Like
And
you're
it
not
ru-
getting the weird grainy stuff or anything like
It just
that.
ruined the
but
experience for me. And so I confirmed my belief that this is a tier 3 pie.
It's a better rhubarb pie, but it's still a tier 3.
Yeah,
pie.
it can't climb out of the rhubarb depths.
Yeah.
I think strawberry is a little too sweet. I think rhubarb's a little too tart. I think put together, they make each other a better pie. But they're still tier 3.
Okay,
Like, I don't
thank you.
I mean, I gave strawberry tier 3, and I'm not going to give strawberry rhubarb tier 1. You know?
Yeah,
Because they're a good couple all of a sudden.
Two negatives don't make it
They
positive.
love DIY projects, Zach.
Okay. That's enough negativity for a minute. Let's talk coconut cream pie.
How do you know this isn't going to be a negative
Yeah,
one?
Zach.
Because we're out of tier 3s.
Oh, you're
Or at
counting.
least we're getting close.
This is a filled pie. It's custardy, and it's topped with lightly sweetened whipped cream and a sprinkling of toasted coconut flakes.
If you love coconut cream pie, you're not flashy or trendy, but you have a depth that most people lack. You're gentle, super sweet, and in harmony with those around you. Except you like poisonous little flakes hidden inside your cream pie.
Poisonous little
yeah,
flakes?
like little shellac in my pie. Get this out of my mouth.
Toasted coconut.
I hate the mouthfeel.
Manna
of
from
coconut
heaven.
so much. I love the pina colada taste. I hate the coconut feel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a tier
surprised.
3.
What?
If this is like the raisin cookie of the pie world.
How
is that a
dare
banana
you,
cream? Slivers in my throat. You want me to do that sound
Is that
again?
the noise you make when you get slivers in your throat?
Happens so often.
Do it again.
This is why you and my wife are such good friends.
Yeah.
Her like biggest fear is flaked coconut.
Right?
So, yeah.
What?
Yeah, she hates it.
Too crunchy.
Toasted coconut has such a pleasant flavor.
Yeah. Joel,
It's a little lightly browned.
What did you give it?
So if I see the pies on the table, I'm like, oh, it's banana cream, and then I take a slice of coconut cream, I'm like, I am not mad about this at all. This is amazing. I love coconut cream.
Amazing?
Tier 1 amazing.
Cut it out.
Coconut by nature is like this creamy flavor, and so when you add
Coconuts
it to
are
a
not
creamy
meant to
pie,
be eaten. You can't get past their shell.
not if you're a weakling who doesn't clean up their sunflower seeds they've strewn around
Are
their
you
laundry.
calling me the bad roommate?
A little bit.
Pay your end of the utilities.
But no, this is one of those pies. Oh, I should
Clean the hair
mention
out of the sink.
there are recipes back in the 19th century. This is a fairly recent pie, and it's because, and Kent kind of talked about this, but maybe in a more dramatic way than he should have. But back in the day, you had to like grate your own coconut, your fresh coconut, to actually get this in your dessert, which wasn't feasible. Once they got the coconut flakes, it became a very easy dessert to make. And I know people don't like the taste or texture of coconut. I, however, like both. I love both. Coconut cream is a tier 1 pie.
So if I get that slice of banana cream pie and I take a bite and it's coconut cream, I'm like, oh, great. I upgraded. I like this better.
Excuse
I love coconut cream pie. It's so good.
It is very good.
Joel, we're going to have the best coconut cream pie, and we're not inviting Kent.
Nope.
Good. Cool party, guys.
Hey, what kind of people like coconut cream? It's going to be an awesome party.
Your wife and I are going to hang out then.
They're fine. We'll have our flaked coconut and be happy.
Yeah, you can have a rhubarb party.
Don't do that. Don't you put that poison on me.
Next up is pecan pie.
Pecan. Depends how you want to say it.
That's a toilet.
Now, here's the thing. When I actually
Got it.
for a long time, I didn't really know pecan pie or pecan pie, meaning I didn't have it on a regular basis.
Can you do me a favor? Can we're not going to decide on a pronunciation.
No,
you
we're
got to
going to say
it
both
every
this whole
time.
time. And it wasn't until like recently I kind of went, wait, this is basically just kind of like a butterscotch kind of pudding, like a syrup,
Right.
corn syrup filling. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And-
just so happens to have some pecans on top.
Yes, as pecan nuts mixed with a filling of eggs, butter, and sugar, typically corn syrup. And in fact, it was corn syrup. The makers of Karo syrup are the ones who kind of popularized this dish back in the 1930s.
Doesn't that seem wrong to just eat straight corn syrup, though, when we try to avoid
Corn
it in
syrup
everything
with
else that
salt
we eat?
and vanilla and sugar.
Yeah, like I drink corn syrup daily.
Yeah.
I shouldn't eat spoonfuls of it. But if you love pecan pie, you're rational in situations when others aren't. And that's why friends and family come to you whenever they're ready to make big decisions or changes in their lives. Yeah.
This is, by the way, the state pie of Texas. Is the pecan pie?
Really?
Yeah, the Texas legislature deemed it so.
So you know how when you're younger and you are very picky with food and you kind of grow out of it, right? Like kind of like with everyone in white chocolate when they're 40. So pecan pie was one of those where I was like, that's gross. A really nutty pie. I didn't really like nuts in anything. And then I tried some great ones. When you try an amazing pecan pie, it is the best pie on the table. But most of them are like real mid at best. And so
Because
my
it just tastes like sugar.
my score for this is mid, because when they're great, they're great. But when they're bad, I'm like, why did I waste that bite? That's empty calories of corn syrup. So it's a tier 2 for me.
Tier 2.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to agree with you, Kent, in the sense of I actually really like pecan. I've learned to really love pecan pie, and I wish I could have had a tier 1 spot for it.
Yeah.
But as I started thinking about these other pies that the flavor stands out, this sometimes just became kind of a sugar flavor. This came, if you may, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be controversial.
Go on.
This is the candy corn of pies, where it is such a sugar-based flavor. I don't know how people can hate it, but I know why people don't love it.
And you don't actually need ice cream on this one at all.
No.
Joel Hilton, you're on to something.
Candy corn. I'm
I
telling you.
love candy corn.
Same.
But pecan pie, I also love. I used to be afraid of it when I was a kid. It was the avoided
Yeah,
pie.
right.
It looks
And then
scary.
I feel like I reached a point of maturity in my life.
That's it.
And I was like, I'm going to have that. And it was delicious. I loved it. And I think even I will disagree with you, Kent. Even mediocre pecan pie, I'm still happy with.
You are okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this is tier 1.
That's fair to
I have
say.
not a
Love
problem
it.
with that.
A lot of
love
people will agree with you.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
It is really tasty. Like if you've been afraid of pecan pie for a long time,
Because it looks like tree bark.
it is the scariest looking of all pies. But then when I trust
there a
me,
blackbird in
below
there?
it, there is like this warm.
It's straight up corn
pillowy-
syrup.
It's so good.
It's tasty
Fake
flavor.
sugar.
Yeah.
But the texture difference is great.
Yes.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Like,
You're absolutely right.
having that baked pecan and then the corn syrup goo.
Yeah.
It's a weird pie, and I'm in. Our final pie is cherry
You saved
pie.
this for last? This is the last one you're going with.
It's what was left.
Well, that was your first
Hey,
one.
that's kind of
that was
how it
his
goes on the
first
table,
one
too.
alphabetically when he
Yeah.
was doing it in the intro. So cherry pie is typically made with sour cherries rather than sweet cherries. Morello cherries is what they call them. But then you also thicken it with some sort of tapioca or flour or some sort of thickening agent to make it that kind of, what do we call it? Goo? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, goo, because goop is the worst. So, yeah, goo.
Yes.
Thickening goo. If you love cherry pie, you're perverted, but you also want to be kept on your toes.
Whoa. Is this your opinion
that
or
might
just the
have been
website?
a little bit of a Kent opinion here.
I was going to say, this website does not say perverted.
It's that one guy who was talking bad about his roommate.
Read it as it's written, dude.
You always want to be kept on your toes, and you're always on the lookout for a new hobby in your life. And you like
Such
worms in your
enthusiasm.
pie.
By the way, the United States requires that frozen cherry pies contain at least 25% cherries. What is the other 75%?
I don't want to.
I don't know. That scares me.
Yeah.
This, to me, is one of the best fruit-based pies. As you may have noticed, my leanings are definitely more of the creamy pies.
Same, yeah.
I love those. And the fruit pies, they're fine and mid. But this is the one where I really do look forward to a cherry pie. However, there are some times when it has a canned taste.
Sure.
Like there's a metallic taste to the cherries.
Do you enjoy this more cold or warm?
Cold.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. This is one, and I will put ice cream or whipped cream on this because I think it is like, it's better that way. Straight cherries, not by itself, but when you put that ice cream on there, it's a cool drink of water. Such a sweet surprise. Sweet cherry pie.
Well played.
Makes a grown man cry, Kent.
Warm pie.
Yeah.
Warm fruit pies. Always warm fruit pies.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's a warm...
Do you mean the hand pies?
If this is a warm cherry pie with like
Ninja
a
Turtle
cool
pies?
thing of ice cream on top, that is really good. But I'm giving it a tier 2.
I had to bump this to tier 2.
Okay.
It was sitting at tier 1. I think cherry pie is awesome, but I just like other pies more.
Yeah.
And this mediocre pie that I have here in the Bacon Cave that I brought, I even like that. I took a bite and was like, oh, this is pretty good. Do I need to put this in tier 1? It's I don't know why y'all don't like it. I don't know why.
Joel likes it.
I like it.
It's a tier
I don't
2.
know.
I gave it tier 3.
Kent, why? We align on
Yeah.
so many things
Not cherry pie.
and not pie at all.
yeah. Oh.
I don't
Oh,
know who
first
Kent
real
is anymore.
division.
I'm going to Hilton Day for
Yay!
for Thanksgiving.
You're finally accepting my invitation?
I'm speechless right now that you both played along with that.
So, Zach, we did obviously have some disagreements here. I just want to know which ones we agreed on. Ones that we can say are Baconsale approved, best or worst.
Right?
Yeah, I was actually surprised by how often
I'm
we
going to
didn't.
guess. I think are you going to start with tier 3 or tier 1?
Well, tier 1s.
Banana cream,
Yeah.
key lime.
Banana cream and key lime.
Okay.
That's all.
Those are the only tier
that's
ones?
all we collective tier 1.
So collectively, we're saying Baconsale approved pies are banana cream and key lime.
You guys both like chocolate cream. You both gave tier 1. I gave tier
didn't.
2.
Yeah.
You both like peanut butter. I gave it tier 3.
We both like coconut, you and I, Zach.
Yeah, Joel and I like coconut. Kent, you gave it tier 3. We couldn't agree there. However, we definitely don't agree 5 times on this list where we had straights of apple pie, lemon meringue, peach, Mississippi mud, and strawberry.
The jury is still out on those.
Yes.
Which ones would you give tier 3, though? I'm guessing rhubarb and strawberry
Two
rhubarb?
collective tier 3s.
Oh, I give strawberry.
Of
No.
rhubarb and strawberry rhubarb.
Yeah.
I did get it because rhubarb.
Get out of here.
Yes. Kent did give pumpkin pie a tier 2. However, Joel and I gave it a tier 3.
Rude.
So that was the next lowest ranking one. So 2 that we really don't like and 2 that we really like, and everything else is all over the place.
Which we assume we're going to get in the comments as well because we want to hear from you about which ranking you give each pies. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3s. Once again, hold yourself to the Baconsale rules of 6 tier 1s, 6 tier 2s, and 6 tier 3s.
Also-
Because no, you can't give everything a tier 1.
Tier 4 is not a thing.
No, tier 4 does not exist. Even high tier 2 or low tier 2 doesn't really exist.
But that exists.
But let us know on Facebook, let us know on Instagram, let us know on Twitter. We want to hear your pie opinions.
Opinion?
Opinions.
Opine on pie. Before we go, we want to thank a few patrons who are in the fashion.
Yes,
fashionable.
in the fashion of the fashionable.
You a la mode patrons, including our I Am the Listener tier, which is Briggs is off to preach the good word, Angela Plotz, Casey Cummings, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Andrew is literally Ryan Gosling, Sir and Madam Hicks, Jennifer Kilkowski, Taylor Sanderson, Shannon West, Rocky and Steph, Adam and Rachel Crump, Ryan and Marley, Dave Kelly, Terry A. Finley, and Scott Vindimona Sprague.
Vindimona. I saw that. It made me laugh.
And then we have our Bacon Council, which is Debbie Foster, Glow Clendaniel, our favorite couple, the Madsons, the other Brit, Johnny English, Star Wars expert Kyler, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Stephen everyone's favorite Ross, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Nicole D. Kale, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons. You are the Allah to our mode. Mm-hmm. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits, who perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale. Please like that Facebook page and visit at Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/Baconsale. Get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/Baconsale. Support starts at just $3 a month. You can hear us complain about voice actors, and
that's the price of a pie. Slice of pie.
Wow.
One slice of pie a month.
All sorts of fun things happening back there. Patreon.com/Baconsale. So until next time, happy 3.14159265358. Whom is like who, but it's pinky up. Blackbirds baked into a pie.
I do not want a Roman placenta pie. By the way, gentlemen, do you know what a la mode means? It means like, oh shoot.
Do you know what a la
yes,
mode
means?
Yes, I know what
Hold on. I didn't write it down.
Please make it up.
Kind of all the same.
All right.
But then
sorry.
Yeah. It's a little cake reference there for all you 90s kids.
Pumpkin without whipped cream. What is that?
But pumpkin trash. I don't like applesauce either. I like my apples.
Why did that hurt my soul?
I don't know.
If you cook them, Joel won't come. Hey, millennials, you know how you've been sorting yourself into Harry Potter houses for years?
Yeah.
Just do pie.
I got a tier 3.
Joel, why do you hate pie?
Joel, you're running out.
You at me. Feel free. I hate pumpkin pie.
Back the squash up here.
You didn't try it. You don't mean it, Zach.
Take that back, Zach. But, of course, chocolate kills you.
Well,
of course, there's the death
depending
aspect.
on the time of day I eat it, it could eventually end in my death.
That's a nice masculine fruit right there.
What, you think you're better than me, pie? That's what I say to it.
It does.
It does, because it's a meringue.
It's zesty and naive.
Same.
I only like my peaches in frog form.
I hate my roommate, and they always eat peanut butter pie.
It smells like peanut butter pie.
He never cleaned up his messes.
If you eat peanut butter pie, you probably don't pay your share of the rent. I am deteriorating as a human being.
Get out of my dreams and into my car, banana cream. I love you.
You're Billy Oceaning the banana cream. It can't climb out of the rhubarb depth.
Pay your end of the utilities.
It is the scariest looking of all pies.
Right before we go, we want to thank
fashionable. That's the word.
Wow, I'm terrified.
Slivers in my throat.